I'm Shelby Bohr. I am an agent with Reece Nichols Real Estate of the Kansas City metro area. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the comparison between the housing bubble that took place between 2006 and 2008 and why it is so different from the time that we are experiencing now with this situation of uncertainty. This channel is about all things real estate, so if you like the content that I provide, please feel free to subscribe or like it or leave me a comment. So as I was saying, what I wanted to talk to you about is the comparison between the time leading up to the housing market crash and this time that we are experiencing right now. Now, as you know, our country and our economy are experiencing some time of anxiety and fear, and we don't know how everything is going to pan out. But one thing that I can tell you is that the housing market is still growing strong. To tell you that is for me to be able to try to alleviate some of that fear and anxiety that is being felt and reassure you that it is still a good time to buy or sell a home. Now, the 5 reasons why this time period and that time period are vastly different are: first, mortgage standards are far different. Back then, 14 years ago, virtually you could walk into a bank and say that you wanted to buy a house, and it was that easy. Whereas now, there are rules and regulations set in place. There are just more hoops to jump through in order to secure a mortgage loan to purchase a house. And that's done on purpose. Mortgage lenders want to make sure that their borrowers are going to be secure in this transaction that is going to take place. Reason number 2 is that prices for homes are not soaring out of control like they once were. The graph that I have included shows the depiction of home prices during that time period of the housing bubble and home prices now, and the normal home price appreciation that has taken place during this time frame. There is a huge difference between that time period and this time period. The third reason is because back then there was a surplus of homes that were on the market at that time. Whereas now, if some of you have been searching for homes, you might have learned, as I already know, that we have a shortage of homes. There's a lack of inventory that has taken place. Now, the normal supply of homes to sustain a market is 6 months. If you have over 6 months, that's considered an abundance. If you have less than 6 months, that is considered a shortage or lack of inventory. Now, I email out and share the monthly market stats for the Kansas City metro area every month to show you the stats that have taken place for the housing market. And for the last 6 months, at least, we have had 2.5 months or less supply left on the market. So we are definitely not experiencing a surplus. We are experiencing a shortage. The 4th reason is because at the time, houses had become too expensive. And that is not the case right now. They have appreciated normally for the conditions of this time. 3 prices that indicate the affordability of a home are the price of the home, the wages that are earned by the purchaser, and the interest rates that are available at that time. Now, during the time of the housing bubble, home prices were astronomical, whereas wages were not matching those astronomical prices, and interest rates to help with the payments of those astronomical home prices were 6% or over. Whereas now, home prices have appreciated normally. That has also been the case with wages of purchasers, and interest rates are within the 3.5% range. I say range. So there are factors that are vastly different from that period and this period now. The fifth and final reason is because people are now swimming in equity. They're not tapping into it like people would have done back then. Back 14 years ago, before the housing bubble took place, they would gain some equity on their home and then they would tap into it almost immediately and use it up for whatever they needed. So then whenever the housing market crashed, they got into trouble because they didn't have that equity to tap into when they really needed it most. Whereas now, people have a lot of equity in their home, but they're sitting on it and they're waiting and they're strategizing what's going to be the best move. Do I need to put repairs into my home? Do I want to stay in my home? Do I like the area? Or do I want to put it on the market and sell it and make a profit off of it? So 5 reasons being mortgage standards are very different from what they were. Prices for homes are not soaring out of control. We do not have a surplus of homes. We actually have a lack of them. The 4th reason being houses are not too expensive to buy. People can still afford them. And the 5th and final reason is that people actually have equity in their homes and they are being strategic about how they use it. So I so appreciate you watching, and if you enjoy the content that I put out for you, please feel free to like or subscribe to my channel and leave a comment for me. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.